I want to tell you about a guy I know. He is 61 years old, lives in a perfectly ordinary neighborhood in Oakville, Ontario. 3-bedroom house he has owned since 1998. Nothing fancy, the kind of street where the houses all look the same and the neighbors all know each other. He drives a 2018 Toyota Camry, gray, nothing special, 140,000 kilometers on it. He bought it used in 2021 for $19,000. When I found out what this man is actually worth, I had to sit with it for a minute. He has $2.3 million in his TFSA and investment accounts. He owns his home outright, no mortgage, paid it off in 2019. He could walk into any car dealership in the GTA tomorrow and buy whatever he wanted, cash, without blinking. I asked him once why he doesn't, and what he said rearranged how I think about money permanently. He said, "A car is a tool that gets you from one place to another. Everything beyond that is a payment for other people's perception of you. And I stopped paying that tax a long time ago." That one sentence is the entire video. We live in a country where we have been trained to read wealth through visible signals. Nice car, big house, expensive clothes, premium everything. These are the things we use to judge who has money and who doesn't. The problem is that those signals are almost perfectly inverted from reality. The person leasing the $75,000 SUV in your office parking lot might have a negative net worth. The person who just renovated their kitchen might have rated their RRSP to pay for it. The guy buying rounds at the bar on Friday night might be running his credit card to the limit every month. And the guy in the Grey Camry on your street, the one you have never thought twice about, might have $2.3 million in his TFSA. This is not a new idea. A book called The Millionaire Next Door documented it decades ago. Researchers studied actual millionaires, not Instagram millionaires, and found that they are disproportionately clustered in middle-class neighborhoods, not in wealthy enclaves, not in the houses you would expect. They found that only 23% of actual millionaires owned a car from the current model year. Only 55% drove something newer than 2 years old. The wealthiest people in most Canadian neighborhoods are not the ones with the newest vehicles. They are the ones whose vehicles you have never noticed. The Camry guy, let's call him Dave, has a phrase for what most Canadians are doing when they overspend on a car. He calls it the status tax. The status tax is the premium you pay for goods and services not because they perform better, but because they signal wealth or taste to the people around you. A $30,000 car gets you to work just as reliably as a $70,000 car. The $40,000 difference is not performance, it is not safety. It is not comfort in any meaningful sense that changes your actual life. It is purely a payment for other people's perception of you. And the status tax does not stop at the car. It compounds. Because once you buy one status object, you feel compelled to buy more. The car leads to the watch. The watch leads to the clothes. The clothes lead to the neighborhood you feel you need to live in to match the car and the watch and the clothes. One thing always leads to another. Dave opted out of all of it, not because he is cheap, not because he denies himself things he enjoys. He travels, he takes his kids to Europe, he eats well, he is not deprived. He is just completely indifferent to spending money on things whose only purpose is to tell other people a story about him. And that indifference, over 30 years, compounded into $2.3 million. Let me show you exactly how this works with real numbers because I think once you see it clearly, you cannot unsee it. 2 Canadians, both earning $100,000 a year. Let's call them Dave and Mark. Dave lives on $70,000 a year. He saves and invests $30,000. Mark lives on $90,000 a year. He saves $10,000. Same income, same city, same cost of living pressures. Different gap between earning and spending. After 20 years at a 7% average annual return, Dave has $1,230,000. Mark has $410,000. Same income, 20 years. $820,000 difference, entirely from spending decisions. Now here's the part that really matters. The gap between Dave and Mark is not $30,000 a year. It does not feel like $30,000 a year. Day to day, month to month, the difference is roughly $2,500 a month. Some months more, some months less. A few hundred here, a few hundred there. The $820,000 gap was built in completely invisible increments over 2 decades. Nobody noticed, including Mark. That is the whole point. Quick pause. If this is the kind of honest Canadian financial perspective you have been looking for, hit subscribe. Monday, Wednesday, Friday every week. Real numbers, no fluff. Hit subscribe and let's keep going. Here is what the research actually tells us about who is quietly wealthy in Canada right now. They are not who you think they are. 80% of actual millionaires in Canada are first-generation wealthy. They did not inherit it. They built it themselves over a working lifetime through one mechanism and one mechanism only: the gap between what they earned and what they spent. They live in middle-class neighborhoods, not because they cannot afford better, because they saw no reason to move once the mortgage was paid off and the neighborhood served their life well. Their cars are clean and maintained, but they are not new. They bought them used and they drive them until the wheels fall off. Their wardrobes are modest. Their watches tell time and nothing else. Their phones are 2 or 3 years old and work perfectly fine. They shop at Costco. They clip digital coupons at Loblaws. They negotiate when they renew insurance. They notice when a subscription they do not use keeps charging them. From the outside, they look like everyone else on the street. From the inside, their TFSA is maxed. Their RRSP has been compounding for 25 years. Their mortgage has been gone for a decade. Their vehicle costs them $380 a month all in. And the guy next door, the one with the $1,100 a month SUV payment, has no idea. So what specifically separates the quiet Canadian millionaire next door from the high earner who has nothing to show for it? 5 things, every single time. 1. They widened the gap on purpose. They did not accidentally end up saving more. They made a deliberate decision, usually early in their adult life, to keep their lifestyle costs below their income growth. Every raise went to the TFSA first, not to a lifestyle upgrade, not to a better car, not to a bigger house. The gap was protected intentionally and consistently. 2. They are completely unbothered by what other people drive. This one sounds simple. It is actually the hardest one for most Canadians. We are social creatures. We notice what our colleagues drive. We notice what the neighbors just put in their driveway. We feel the subtle pressure of comparison constantly. The quiet millionaire next door genuinely does not feel that pressure, or they feel it and dismiss it so quickly it does not register as a real force in their decisions. Dave's Grey Camry is not a sacrifice. He does not feel deprived every time he walks past a newer vehicle in the parking lot. He feels nothing. That emotional indifference, sustained over decades, is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. 3. They treat their TFSA like a non-negotiable bill. The money goes in on payday before they see it, before they can spend it, before the month gets away from them. The TFSA contribution is not the last thing that happens with their money. It is the first. 4. They are invested, not saved. Their TFSA is not sitting in a bank savings account earning 3%. It is in a low-cost index ETF growing at something closer to the historical market return. The difference between 3% and 7% on a large balance over many years is not incremental. It is enormous. Dave's $2.3 million did not come from a savings account. It came from 30 years of consistent index investing inside a tax-free account that CRA cannot touch. 5. They defined enough, and then they stopped. This is the one most financial content never talks about. The quiet millionaire next door at some point in their life decided what enough looked like. A house that works, a car that works, a wardrobe that works, a lifestyle that is genuinely comfortable and genuinely theirs. And then they stopped chasing more. Every dollar above enough went to building freedom, not to building a more impressive version of their visible life. That decision, made once and then held consistently, is what separates the person with $2.3 million from the person with $410,000. Same income, same city, same Canadian cost of living pressures. One decision about what enough looks like. Made once, held for 30 years. Here is the question Dave asked me when I told him I was making a video about this. He said, ask them what they are actually buying when they upgrade the car. Is it transportation or is it a feeling? And if it is a feeling, how long does that feeling last? That question sat with me for a week, because the honest answer for most people is that the feeling lasts about 3 months, maybe 6 if you are really attached to the car. And then it is just the car, and the payment, and the insurance, and the depreciation that you do not think about but happens every single day regardless. The feeling fades, the payment does not. Dave's Grey Camry does not give him a feeling when he gets in it. It takes him where he needs to go. And his $2.3 million gives him something that no car payment ever could. The ability to do whatever he wants with his time, forever. The richest person in your neighborhood probably does not look rich. They drive something modest and clean and paid off. Their house is the same as yours or maybe a little smaller. Their clothes are unremarkable. You have probably driven past them 100 times without a second thought. But quietly, invisibly, over decades of protecting the gap between what they earned and what they spent, they built something most high earners in Canada will never have. Not a flashier life, a freer one. Here is the question I want to leave you with, and be honest with yourself. Think about the most expensive thing you own that you did not need to buy at that price point. The car, the watch, the renovation, whatever it is. What were you actually buying? Transportation or a feeling? Drop your answer in the comments. No judgment. I am genuinely curious what people are willing to admit when they actually think about it. If Loonie Lab is giving you the Canadian financial perspective you have not found anywhere else, hit subscribe. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Real numbers, no fluff. I will see you in the next one.